a topic discussed a lot nowadays, and it's very real, affecting every one of us. Yeah, I do feel bad about it because it's basically my future, and it's not certain because of it. Um, Guilty sometimes, yes, when I feel like, oh, I didn't do this right because, for example, oh, I didn't recycle when I should have.
Not necessarily a guilt. It was more felt like there's a responsibility to do something. Like uh, the only example I can think of, it's pretty trivial. Back in high school, um, in grade 11, I remember we had someone come and talk to us about climate change, and not that it was meant to make us feel guilty, but it did encourage us to uh, do stuff in our daily lives to help reduce like our carbon footprint, our use of like non-biodegradable stuff. Um, I know my friends and I, we were the way she was presenting really affected us, so we decided to create our school's very first eco team.
I do like to question every information that's given to me first because I want to know, like, is the source valid? Who's saying this? And whatever. But doing that basically helped me realize that yes, it's actually true, which basically mobilized myself to think that, hey, this is true, there's something to be done about it, or else our future is not well.
Um, no, I never denied it because it's very obvious that it's true and it's happening. So I never needed to rationalize anything.
Oh yeah, for sure, on both sides, so both positive and negative. Um, Without seeing like the data in front of me, um, I'm not able to critique it. Not all data is the same. Some are skewed, some are meant to be misleading. Um, but yeah, I'm open to both sides to see like what they need to say, but it's up to me to critique what the validity, I guess, would be the best way of describing it. Yeah, I don't think it's just a preoccupation for rich countries. I think there are ways that everyone can help, like combat the effects of climate change. But I do think it is easier for richer countries to do so because they most likely have the resources and the influence over their not influence, but um, they have a wider reach for their people. Um, but no, I don't think it's just. I wouldn't say preoccupation. I don't think it's just on the richer countries to fix the problem. I think everyone should have some role in it.
Plastic bottles are refill like you can just get a water bottle that's refillable. It doesn't do damage to your health, like the BPA free ones and whatever. And also, it helps not consume as much plastic, which is not biodegradable. So that's a way.
Um, Me personally, I try to take public transit and not try to drive like cars by myself. Um, if I am taking a car, I like to carpool together. Um, I don't litter anywhere. I try to make sure I can recycle when I can. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, what I do right now, can't really do right now because it's winter. But my mom has a garden set up, and um, sometime throughout high school, I asked her if we could do like a composting like bin that was in there. So, and a lot of times, the crops that she grew um, in a particular season, she would save the seeds, freeze dry them, and so that she could still use them for the next um, the next growing season, so that she wouldn't have to reuse the seeds. I mean, so she wouldn't have to buy new seeds; she just had to reuse them. Um, Other than that, it's just your basics like unplugging, uh, unplugging devices when you're not using them, because even if they're off, they're still consuming electricity. Um, Trying to purchase things that are local when possible, especially food. Um, but again, those conflicts of money and convenience come into play again. Sometimes it is easier to get things that have been exported from another country. Sometimes it's easier to get the cheaper thing.
For government, I personally am a libertarian. I don't like governments in general. I believe a limited government is the way to go based on economics and a lot of countries' history, including mine, because I am from an ex-communist country, now surviving under socialism. But oh well. Anyway, I do believe governments should hold all corporates responsible for how they act, though, because they are the ones basically fucking us up. A government can do so much at a time. However, they are fully able to hold every single one of us, especially corporates, to their actions. And yeah, everyone should be held responsible, and governments have the full power to do it.
Making goals for the countries as a whole would be nice. It was really upsetting that some countries pulled out of the Paris Agreement. I don't think that there should be I don't think there should be absolute responsibility on the governments, because that's not realistic. People have their own choices and freedoms. But then at the same time, I think individuals, just as a moral affect, need to realize that if they're doing something to help prevent climate change, they're doing it for themselves too.
Be part of organizations and stuff that help advertise for. Where am I getting with this? Hey, you know those Instagram posts, whatever. Like, there's always people that do something and they post about it. I want to be one of those people because it's cool. Because I feel good about doing something good for the environment. Yeah, there's that.
So, like I said, when I was in grade 11, we had a group of friends and we had created our first eco team. It wasn't called an eco team, but we were called the Social Justice Club, and one of our big focuses was on environmental activism. And so we were not the first in our school board, but the one in our school district to actually plan activities that were outside of the school environment. So I know we had done some tree planting with the Toronto District School Board,